That you hear in the background is a cat. He has a lovely scratch post little treehouse type thing, and he loves it. Everybody in chat, greetings. Oh, this is a good one. Oh wait, my catchphrase. What did I say my catchphrase was? Not much of a catchphrase if you can't even remember it. It's that time again. Flawless Victory 5. We're going to, oh wait, am I showing the wrong one or am I showing the right one? Just wait a second, just bear with me. I mean to be showing, yes, I'm showing the wrong one. This will be later on. This is the actual Flawless Victory. First, this silly boob. First, some fun. Just, it's very funny. It's actually funny that very stupid people, I don't know why, some very stupid people just want to have YouTube channels and very stupid people. Maybe they shouldn't do that, because then they look very stupid if they come across somebody like me who just, well, shows what they're doing. So we're going to listen to poor guy. Look on the screen. Where's Wally again? Just listen to what he says.
When he keeps playing Santa, and that's a total non sequitur. Look, just because Santa is fake, Antonio, doesn't mean the ISS is fake, or what?
Just because Santa is fake doesn't mean the ISS is fake. Just because shoes aren't a sandwich doesn't mean that gloves are a sandwich. Like, come on. Look, just because Santa Tracker is fake doesn't mean that the ISS is not fake. That would be a non sequitur. You're confusing a synthetic statement, a true synthetic statement, for a non sequitur. You don't really know what you're talking about. Now, in this video, I'm going to mute it and I'll play it. He starts off, showing this. After saying, oh, I'm going to cover this in a video, so he shows this, which I'm going to go over again. He starts off with this. In fact, I'll play the audio. I will. I'll play the audio. I'll play the audio. You'll see how he starts off with this video. He goes on to not address this video whatsoever at all. Even though this was the main point why I showed this video in my previous hangout, Flawless Victory 4. How a rocket cannot produce the same level of illumination as a whole city. Well, he skips that. That could go under the carpet. Listen.
Where's Wally here? Well, I've just been bashing my head against Antonio's 2-hour talk fest. Man, why do these flatties have to yatter on and on and on and on and...
Because there's all kinds of interesting things in the world to yatter on and on.
On and say nothing.
No, what do you mean say nothing? I said, see that little speck that's just gone up into the sky that I was portraying as being Iron Man in my hangout, because it's obviously CGI, it's obviously not true. If it was true, it would be illuminating about the size of a city. A rocket can't illuminate about the size of a city, therefore it's fake. Prima facie. At a first glance. Obviously fake. See? So, but when addressing dim-dims like you have to go over and over so they get it. And you have to say it at different speeds. Some with ADHD, they can only really understand things when you say them very quickly. Other more dopey people, you have to speak slowly, like you do and like Wolfie does. Speak nice and slowly, or they'll lose the thread of what you're saying. So,
look, I was going to point out how many times Antonio said H-U-D.
Okay, so he was going to point out, and then he moves on to not addressing that point whatsoever, instead showing rockets taking off, addressing a point that wasn't even made. I didn't say, hey, how come when rockets take off, they can get some illumination from the sun when they're high up, right? But not when they're low down. I've written a book called The Book of the Sun, which explains the shape of the illumination, you dim-dim. Which explains how things that are higher up can receive light when things on the ground can't anymore. See, you complete dim-dim. But anyway, he goes on. The rest of the video, here's this. He just writes completely off, says, oh no, that's just an artifact. And then goes on with this. He's forgotten that he meant to be addressing this.
Yes, 2-hour talk fest.
Somehow, he forgot to address this. Now, the Globelings in the channel know that this has been pointed out, has been highlighted by yours truly. There were people in the chat who, whilst I was highlighting this, were saying themselves, hey, that must be about as bright as a city. So, I'm not the only one. And there are Globelings commenting in the chat, in the previous channel, and in the comments now. They've heard this point. Where's Wally? Now, I thought of pulling up the Mars Tesla Roadster fiasco and comparing that Earth with this one. See how this one's got that orange band? And that one didn't? I thought of comparing the two, but then I thought, nah, that would be pandering a bit too much to the dim-dims. So instead I'll move on to this. Come on, whenever you like. Greetings everybody in chat, by the way. I can't see you right now. I'm going to play this again. Oh, that orange dot, watch. You'll see Iron Man taking off. And poor Dim Dims, like him, they confuse the brightness. See that? The brightest spot there at the bottom of the screen. You might think that's a city, you know, given that it's about as large as some of the other cities. But it isn't a city. No, it's a rocket. Seen from above, no less. A rocket seen from above. So it's not a rocket that's right up close to the camera. No, it's a rocket that's very near the ground. That's right. And it's not illuminating the ground around it because it's taken off. Oh dear. And poor Where's Wally and poor Dim Dim Globlings. Poor Dim Dims, they can't get it. They don't get it. It's like, it can't be as bright as those towns. It's a rocket. It can't be as bright as those towns. But it's being played here as bright as those towns. Maybe it's not really real, but the level of fluoride affected IQ in the Globling mind is so extensive that they cannot, they look at this, they think, well, this is being produced and presented by official sources, therefore it can't be fake. Instead of going, sod who's promoting it or showing it, forget that. What I'm seeing is not what's being portrayed as being what I'm seeing. This cannot possibly be a rocket that illuminates about as much as a city illuminates, because rockets don't illuminate as much as a city. And you heard this point, Where's Wally? So you should maybe address this point, not get confused into, well, let's go back. Not get confused into addressing, let me move ahead. This, which was a throwaway comment, which is, how is this being illuminated given that the Earth, given that it's on the night side of the Earth, not the boundary, not the terminator, the dark side. Do you understand? He then shows videos of things what would be described as the terminator. See that twilight? That would be within the terminator. You understand? Look, see that twilight there? And I'm going to move ahead. All of these, they're all being launched during the, at the Terminator, when the Terminator is approximately there. How can you tell it is that time of day? Well, because of the twilight. But you see in this one, where is it? You see how there's no illumination whatsoever of the Earth underneath? There's no little hint of blue. There's nothing. This is literally being eclipsed by your globe Earth, but it's illuminated because otherwise it will only have black to show. You dope. You great big dope. But don't get confused now. Remember, address this. This is what you're tasked to address for your Globling pals. Okay? Okay. Now, we'll move on to this. This is what I mean by the level of fluoride polluted brain cognitive dysfunction. This man, you see, is called PMARS. PMARS has forgotten that a number of years ago I had a Gleason's behind me on the wall. And I used this Gleason's to show the problems with the Gleason's. I drew all over it, showing, well, this is wrong here and this is wrong here, but there you go. I had it behind me on the wall. The Gleason's has a great big circle. And because I was sat in front of it and I saw that it looked like a halo, I went out of my way to say, there will be people watching this who will think that I have positioned the Gleasons behind me so that it looks like a halo. I said this 3 or 4 times until it got boring, and I thought I'm not going to repeat it again, and I mean in 3 or 4 consecutive hangouts. And in one of them, I went out of my way to show, look, if I put my head like this, perfect halo. I was mocking the kind of retarded person who would think, oh, it's trying to subliminally influence people. Just because it happened to be behind me and happened to be circular. This is one of those retarded people. He has made videos about how that circle being behind me was me subliminally influencing people. Now, he doesn't understand, although I have explained it to him in a hangout. Subliminal means below your aware state, below your state of consciousness. Subliminal. So below the conscious state. So for instance, flickering an image so fast that your conscious mind doesn't register it, that would be subliminal. If you actually say out loud, people will think that this is a halo, that's not subliminal. You've literally said it out loud. Therefore, over the liminal, into the conscious, outwardly. You've said it, obviously, you've categorically stated it. And you've stated it, this being me, for the retarded. Saying, you know, there will be retarded people who will say, oh look, he's trying to make himself out to be a saint. Well, this is one of those retardeds. And you're going to hear him confuse the term neurolinguistic programming, which also includes subliminals, but also iconography, so that's images, gestures, tone of voice. He confuses NLP for subliminal. He's just confused them. If he was accusing me of NLP, I think that would be a fair criticism. Anybody could say, yes, he's actually doing that. Like, fine, if that's what you think. But definitely not subliminal. Not if you've gone out of your way to point it out. That would be like that frame saying, drink Coke. If that frame was actually stopped on the screen and they left it on the screen saying, drink Coke, and somebody with a voiceover said, hey, look at this saying, go and drink Coke, that would no longer be subliminal. That would be liminal, conscious, aware, within your state of awareness. You dimmed him. So I'm going to play him saying this. Listen.
Antonio Subarats uses subliminal messages similar to like what the mainstream media does on his
Oh wait, later on, he compares Alex Jones with this professional news broadcast style that he has, you know, with a desk and scrolling words and all those graphics. He compares that to the mainstream media, but now he's comparing me to the mainstream media. He's forgotten that I don't know any mainstream media that does broadcasts from a bedroom. But listen, you'll hear him.
That's your opinion, like whatever.
Antonio Subarats uses subliminal messages similar to like what the mainstream media does on his audience.
Similar to what the mainstream media does. And later he fleshes that statement out by saying, just like Alex Jones with his professional looking news service, he's such a, and this is the typical globling. This is the level of stupid that the typical globling, and when I say typical globling, I mean the typical globling who makes comments in flat earth videos.
And he uses a subliminal that makes his audience think he's like a guru and intelligent and all this
They're
stuff.
about like the and what's it called, NLP tactics, or whatever.
Sort of like that. Yeah. I made a video on it called Halo Symbolism on the Flat Earth, and yeah, it shows. I got Antonio using the same tricks the mainstream media used to manipulate people, manipulate the.
It's like Dell does it, whether he realizes it or not. He kind of.
I don't watch Dell's social media.
I mean, as in, like, he does this thing where he has this sort of.
The rest is very boring. The other guy that's talking is a very dim guy, but this guy, the one that you're seeing on the screen, he's saying Antonio's purposefully doing something. The other guy has said, yes, just like Dell, but Dell doesn't realize that he's doing it. Well, then it wouldn't be purposefully doing something. This is what I mean. These guys are incredibly dense, just like Where's Wally? Wait, let me just make sure. Just like Where's Wally, who forgets that he's supposed to be addressing a major point that's a problem with the footage that he showed, and instead addresses this other point. When the point that he's addressing about the ISS being illuminated whilst on the dark side of the Earth, he's instead showing rockets that are being launched not on the dark side of the Earth, but at the terminator, and going towards the illumination to boot. That's how retarded. Oh, I see somebody in the chat without a wrench. There you go. Don't go with your a flatling, a pondling. That's the word, pondling, or a globally. Don't care. Anyway, so this is the addressing the complete morons that are on the side of the globe. You have one moron who forgets that he's supposed to be addressing one thing and goes off and addresses an entirely different thing. Tries to dismiss the Santa tracker, which is being used as an example. Look, the authorities tell you that this footage is real. The authorities then go and track Santa. You can assume that the authorities, when they're tracking Santa, are doing it not so much in jest, but to play to the fantasy of the children. It's not a leap to say that this is being played for the fantasy of adults and adolescents. Okay? It is not a leap. Not when you see that rockets can't illuminate as much as a city. Now I'm going to show you something that's absolutely brilliant. So, but first I'm going to say, hey, Globelings, where are your questions regarding my map? And where are your questions regarding sailing speeds and distances and flight speeds and distances? Where are they? Make a video with specific routes and specific problems that you see, and I will counter those videos. First, you're going to see from Alpha Mind, a Spanish channel, ships in the middle of the Antarctic landmass. That's right, I'm going to play it. Now, some of the objects, if you go to Marine Tracker or Marine Radar, all of them share the same info. You see that some of the vehicles in Antarctica are search and rescue vehicles. Okay, but some of them are fishing boats. Like that. See how it says fishing? Let's keep looking. That's, he's saying this is very far into Antarctica. That's strange. That also says fishing. It tells you what they all are. If it's a beacon, if it's a buoy. What's a buoy doing in the middle of Antarctica? Or if it's a search and rescue vehicle. But when it's a search and rescue vehicle, it will be a helicopter icon. Tiny little helicopter icon. You see, there are two others to the left. In fact, I'm going to move ahead, see if he picks them up. And if you go to the, that's a crappy model. That was a very wrong model. Here. If you go to the Marine Tracker, it's only live tracking unless you want to subscribe for £25. But just check from day to day. I've seen this. In fact, I made a short little hangout discussing this earlier, some months ago. You got a blue one right there. You got others. Let's see. Move ahead. See the orange one. See the blue one. Okay. See, within the Antarctic landmass. Right. So today I went and looked. 893 knots. 1027. 646 miles per hour. What's that? 893 knots. Oh yes, it's the speed of this search and rescue vehicle. 893 knots. Wolfie, where are your questions about flight speeds? Globlings, where are your questions about flight speeds? You see how this search and rescue vehicle is logged at flying 893 knots. You see how 893 knots is, well, 1027 miles per hour? Care to explain? Just go ahead and explain. Just go ahead. Now I'll move this around so that you see I haven't cut and pasted. I've not done a what's his name? Rhetoric trick, you know, of tweaking footage. No, this is on the website. Now when you hit track, it gives you a little kite emblem. Okay? Before that it was a helicopter. You can go and check right now. It might have disappeared though. That's interesting. First, it was here in Antarctica. You can't see my cursor probably. If you go down and to the right, it was there. Little dot. You hit it, it turns into a helicopter and it tells you SAR 519988741. Search and rescue. Later, I come back. Oh, it's not there anymore. No, instead it's over the sea. And instead of saying 0 speed, it says 893. Well, 893, it's 1027 miles per hour. Do you see that? 893 knots is 1027 miles per hour. Now, if you would like to say, well, what it is this website is incorrect, then you can. You can say, well, I don't believe that website. Because that's what you're saying. You're saying, I don't believe it, so it must be wrong. That's what you have to do. You can't say, well, that's a search and rescue vehicle from Antarctica and it's logging a speed of 893 knots. You can't say that because then it breaks your globe. But you have to come up with a reason to why the display will show 893 knots. You just have to come up with a reason why that would be happening. You can't say fairies did it. You have to say some kind of reason why it would be showing 893 knots. See? So go ahead and do that, Globlings. Bring your questions. Bring your questions about marine speeds and distances and my map, and I'll compare my map and the vessels shown as being in Antarctica with your map and the vessels shown being in Antarctica. and then I will address all of the other things. Now I'm going to look in the chat. I'm going to leave this on the screen for you folks. 89 people watching, 24 thumbs up. What's going on? Gandhi, yo, Gandhi's in the chat. Wow, just shows how long since you've been here, dude. You haven't got a wrench. Gandhi, by the way, is the guy who passed me the video of the artificial skylight that presents a sun that displays parallax just like the real sun, despite there being no single light in that lamp. It's all LEDs. There's no bulb. Anyway, nice to see you, dude. I'm looking in the chat. I'm looking specifically for Shalom, says Judith Baz. Shalom, Judith. Mashlomech, Judith. Okay. I'm looking specifically for Globlings. Write your comments to me, but add the prefix, the Book of the Sun. So write at the, and it will give you an option of all the names in the chat that starts with the. One of them will be Book of the Sun. Hit it, and then you make your comment to me. Dan W, Curry Night. Yes, next week if you can. I just saw someone, I think it was Scattered View, was it? Scattered View, yes. I see that map. By the way, and there's somebody else with a yin yang, the right way round. Love, wisdom, harmony. You see the yin yang, the shape that it has, it can be shown both ways, like the swastika. This shape is the shape of the longitudes, if an idealized shape of the longitudes when looking down onto the surface of the earth. So, Globlings, don't be shy. You have wrenches. If you don't have a wrenches, you will receive a wrench. Make your comments. Explain what vehicle flies at 893 knots. What search and rescue vehicle? Go to the website and have a good look. Go back tomorrow. Go the day after. Hey P-Mars, I'm going to show the bit again, because P-Mars is here, that dim-dim. Let's see. Where is it? I hope I didn't close it. No, I didn't close it. Here. Ay, ay, ay. P-Mars is this dim-dim. And I'm going to go back and play it again. Okay. So he starts to explain about how yours truly uses subliminal messages. This guy. Let's listen some more.
She was saying she finds Antonio's more.
I suppose.
Oh yes, this was funny. Madame Medusa said to Jamie Brown, you know that dim but nice guy. She said, just said, Antonio's channel is superior to yours. He threw a little girly hissy fit. And now somebody is saying, I think she was just giving her opinion.
Oh, I don't... Chill, Jamie, but I don't think she was having a go at your channel. I just think she was...
Anyway.
Say that, I suppose I kind of...
Whatever. Let's move on.
Messages.
Here is where he starts to explain how Antonio Subirats uses subliminal messages by spelling out what he's doing. It's all somehow becoming subliminal. I've explained to him, P-Mars, I've explained to you in a hangout to your face that for something to be subliminal, it has to go by unregistered by the conscious mind. You can't point it out and still think it's subliminal. You could get away with saying it's neurolinguistic programming if you like, but absolutely not subliminal, you dim-dim.
Subliminal messages, similar to like what the mainstream media does on his audience.
Really? And you have a wrench, so feel free, PMARS, in the chat, feel free, given that you have a wrench, to link your video for people's perusal. There you go, just feel free to link your video now in the chat, put a link to it, so that people can go and see it and see whether or not they might agree with you, they might have something that they can contribute to your theory. I don't know. Oh, I see somebody else without a wrench. But PMARS, do go ahead. Go ahead and paste a link to it. Don't be shy. Don't ask people to do a search for it. They're not going to. Just paste a link, then people can just hit the link and they can watch your video about halos and the flat earth. Harmon Walker's there. On most Android phones, it doesn't give auto-fill-in suggestions for names. Oh, I see, like on laptops and desktops, for your information. Thank you very much. Right, thanks for that. I didn't know. So that explains why some people don't actually do what you've just done. Okay, which is highlight my name. It brings it to my attention. I see PMAR seems to has either gone shy or being unfair, and he's spending some time looking through his channel so that he can link. There you go. He's linked it. Wonderful. Shall we watch it? Let's watch it. That's something that somebody who was using subliminal things would definitely do, I'm sure. So 1 second. Open link in new tab. Yes, that's right, Dave Hinkle. PMARS does think he's on a spinning ball. Oh, Helen DeGenerates writes something. Antonio, can you address what Dave Murphy said, that the Earth could not be seen on the horizon from the Apollo landing site, which was 15 degrees off center? Helen DeGenerates. Dave Murphy is a Flat Earth Society shill. Remember, he has described the sun as making circles above the flat earth and the moon too, which anybody can debunk by just, well, looking with their own eyes with a compass. Anybody can do that. Well, hey, it can't be there if those guys are seeing it over there too. But yeah, he's wrong about the Apollo moon missions. He's just wrong. Can you address what Dave Murphy said, that the Earth could not be seen on the horizon from the Apollo landing site, which was 50 degrees off center? Which of the Apollo missions? So first, which of the Apollo missions, and at what elevation, and why would anybody be thinking that the moon landings were at all real, where they could or could not see the Earth? All of that is just ridiculously absurd time wastage. Yeah, I think it could be seen from the moon. Yeah, I think it could be seen at the horizon. Oh, no. It would have been seen higher up in the air. Like, yeah, how about you stop putting the idea that people stood on the moon? Yeah, Johan, Antonio, yeah, you're right. I suppose you've been cutting and splicing doctrine into your vids. That's right. There you go. I've been telling people, come and join my religion. Or isn't this religious avatar great? That's right, brothers. Oh, and no, I'm not kidding. He will think that was a subliminal. To say, aha, see, who says the words brothers? Well, religious people, so secretly he is religious. Oh, he writes, I have a vid about pee drinking being something satanic cults make their members do. That's very good, PMARS. That's very good. There were vids being made about how everybody who did the ALS challenge, you know, dumping a bucket of freezing cold water over yourselves, they were all joining the cult of Thelema or some other cult. That's right. Even though they didn't know. Yeah, they got tricked into it. Yeah, all of them. All of those people, whether or not they knew it, they all became the Thelemites or Luciferian, whatever. That's right. You have a vid about pee drinking being something satanic cults make their members do. Yes. You also have a vid about me subliminally telling people, hey, see this ring bit right behind me that looks like a halo? I just thought I'd point that out in case people think that I'm doing it on purpose as some kind of subliminal. See? PMARS? And I'm going to play that video. Just give me a second. Where is it? You complete moron. Oi. Right, let's see. By the way, your video, it is, let's see. I wonder if you just show a shot or if you show me explaining. I'm scrolling through your video before I play it, in case it's really boring. Let's see. Oh, there it is. Let me see. Let's see if... Oh, there! I'm playing it. I don't hear any audio. Just a second. Oh, it's just a still frame. Why? And I'm going to show it, because I know you like that. Why did you just show a still frame? That's a bit silly. Just give me a second, and I will show everyone. There. Okay. Let me make sure this is being shown. Yes. Right. So I'm going to make it larger so people can get a really good look. Yes, that's what I look like before I cut my hair. Oh, unfortunately it looks a bit egg-shaped, that halo, but never mind. I suppose people can say perspective. Wait, there we are. I'm just checking that I'm displaying the right page. Yes. I'm going to hit play so that everybody can see that this is a still. Play. It's a still. Again, it's a still. Ah. Let's see. Huh? No halo there. What are you doing? Oh, wait. Oh dear. Wait. What? Can you see how there's a ceiling light in my room and the ceiling light is reflected in the mirror? That's halo. That's what it is. Not like illumination because it's nighttime. No. It's a halo. There, some more. Let's see. Let's see. What are you doing? Dude, this is a very shoddy... Yeah, oh, right. Wow. So here, behind me... God, this is so desperate, you poor sod. Behind me, I did a series of sun tracking sessions. One of the sun tracking sessions, I had a whiteboard behind me. I had a map drawn. I had a 24-hour circle so that we could look at sun angles as the readings came in and where they were coming from, what longitude they were coming from. Because I had that and I left it behind me in case people wanted to look at any of the details, that too is halo. All of it is halo. Like sun shining in, halo. Let's see what else it says. This is turning out to be incredibly fascinating. Oh, not really. Yeah, I'm kind of exaggerating a bit. Okay, what else do you say? Oh, right. Back to this still. Hey, why didn't you play the portion of the video? I'm scrolling forward. Nothing interesting. Right. I'm going to show this as a nice subliminal. Why didn't you play the portion of the video where I explained about, I hope people don't think, and some retarded people will think, and I'm having to point this out again because some people are so stupid that they, even if they've heard me saying this, it won't register. You dope. You silly dope. Now let me move this one up. Yes, this is the page that we can all watch. You just, oh, there's somebody else. Elisada. Okay. Benefice Kirako. You can have a wrench. Boniface. That's a kind of cool name. So, PMARS, do you have anything more to say? Why would I show more than a still frame? Okay, it's like this. If you showed me saying, some morons will think that because this is circular and behind my head, that it's some kind of religious iconography. Literally saying those words that I just said. If you played that video, then it would make the rest of your video look retarded because you're trying to intimate that it's all subliminal. It can't be subliminal and overtly expressed. It can't be. Subliminal is literally covert, like below the threshold of conscious awareness. That's what subliminal means, PMARS. You. Anyway, you can still have your wrench. You complete half-wit. So now we have, I'm going to engage with this because I've gone over the thing I wanted to go over, which you can see on the screen, which is an incredibly high speed of that search and rescue vehicle. But I'm going to address the silly person in the chat. The silly person in the chat writes this. At the Book of the Sun, why do you assume because you said something 3 times, I would hear it? Well, because I said it, if you were watching, then you might have heard it. If I said it again, you might hear it again. If I said, do you see how that goes? That's why I would assume it, because that's how the real world works. You know, somebody says something, you hear it. Somebody says it again, you hear it again. Oh no, now there's something fascinating. Here's the flaw in your argument. I bet the rest is brilliant, Antonio. It's still subliminal because not everyone hears you say this thing. No, Dim Dim. It's not subliminal because everyone does not hear me say this. All they have to do is look to see if I've said it. If I've said it, they can then go, all right, okay, so it's not subliminal. It's just a case of his sitting position and the thing. He tried sitting to one side, but the framing of the whole shot was just horrible. It was jarring. And he also explained that in a video. You complete moron. But anyway, let's not distract now. And, the Book of the Sun is such a narcissist, he thinks I've heard his every word. No. Loki, come on. Loki's playing with a pencil and he's rolling across the floor. No. Oh, yeah, come on. Yeah. Play with that. PMARS, you're getting a bit boring now, okay? People thinking that if you're watching their videos, that you might be listening to what they're saying in their videos, that's not narcissistic. It isn't narcissistic. It's kind of common sense. Okay? Now, if I was saying it in Spanish, you might say, well, I could have heard it, but it was in Spanish and I didn't understand. You could say something like that. Okay? But not, well, you said it, but I didn't hear it, therefore it's subliminal. You Dim Dim. Oh. Anthony Stark writes, what the hell is Antonio talking about? Look, Anthony Stark, the video you're watching has a function where you can rewind. Wouldn't it be a good idea if you would rewind and then hear, rather than ask people in the chat to tell you, hey guys, can you take some special time out just for me? Because I can't be bothered rewinding. Ugh. Anyway. Yeah, Love, Wisdom, Harmony. Yes. PMAS is one of those retarded globelings. He still thinks he's on a globe. He's been looking at this at least for as long as I have. And he still thinks he's on a globe. So I'm going to address this to PMAS. And I'm going to show the video. Just give me a second while I move to the other screen. I think it's this one. Nope. It might be this one. Nope. It might be this one. Huh? Nope. Oh, just a second. I've mixed my windows, so just give me a second. I'll sort it out. Right, here we are. PMAS, I'm going to play some video, especially for you. So let me. Here, okay? Can you see the video on the screen? Now the video on the screen is going to portray a rocket taking off from the surface of the Earth and going out into outer space and then returning. Unfortunately, because they have to show it for dim-dims like you to believe, unfortunately, in order for them to show it, they have to increase the amount of light that rocket might produce so that it's visible, you know, from 1,000 miles away. No, from maybe 3,000 miles away. So watch. At first, you could say it's maybe 500 miles, 800 miles. Now, okay, you could say maybe 800 miles, 1,000 miles, 1,500 miles, 2,000 miles. But keep watching. Oh, he cut away. Oh, there he, see? Right, keep watching. Ah, damn it. Wait, is this the... Yeah, that's where's... Well, this video. The poor dim-dim, he keeps cutting away. I play this one where it doesn't keep cutting away. Just give me a second. Okay, here we go. Oh, also, just to point out, Where's Wally also forgot to address this discrepancy between the drops. Yeah, he forgot that too. But that happens to some people. They forget. So, PMAS, watch the video. Try and keep up with, well, how far the ISS must be from that rocket. And how bright that rocket must be to be visible from that distance. See those little lights? Those little lights are cities and towns. Okay? You're not seeing the roads. You're not seeing the individual dwellings. Those are cities and towns. Now see that bright orange one at the bottom? Yeah. That's a rocket. Keep watching. How far away do you think the ISS is from it now? I've slowed it down, by the way. How far do you think the ISS is from it now? Or now? Can you see how big the cities and towns are? Can you see how there isn't a single dwelling you can see there? or even a single stadium. But you can see a rocket. So explain, PMAS, in the chat, how much illumination does a rocket produce that it can stand side by side with a city or a town? I don't know if that's the sun takes 5.5 hours longer to cross my valley in the summer than the winter. Yes. Does that mean the sun moves faster when it is farther south? Gary Weibanger. Yes, it does. But you can't really think in terms of moving. You can think in terms of taking longer, but not in terms of moving. It scrolls across the sky, but it's not really moving. If you think like a wave, let me see a better analogy. No, I can't think of a better analogy. If you think of a wave at the sea, okay, and you have some polystyrene, a polystyrene ball on top of the water, and the ball goes up and down, but it isn't moving across, okay? So this up and down would be similar to what you're perceiving from the Earth. Well, no, forget that, not similar to what you're perceiving. Would be similar to a thing that can be determined to be moving. But really it's the water that's moving. So the sky, the sun, the arc that the sun makes, although the sun is only a glare, takes longer in the south, from the north in the south, and vice versa. It's all to do with the shape of the illumination. I'm working on some graphics to show the shape of the illumination, because when you see it, it looks like it's a living organism. It looks like, well, when you see a plant, a flower or anything in time lapse, and you see it, grow and change and bloom, when you see the Earth's illumination, it looks like the same kind of organic action. Let me see. I see somebody else without a wrench. But please, so I get what you're saying, but please don't think of the Earth as something that moves. It doesn't move. The Earth doesn't, the sun, don't think of the sun as something that moves. This isn't a good analogy, but picture a floodlight, and the floodlight is scrolling, and you're seeing the end of the floodlight, the end of the beam, tracing across, the the Great Escape barracks and whatnot. Okay, so you would think that that's moving across, and yeah, because it's going from where it is to where it's going to be, and it's scrolling across. But if you assumed that the floodlight was scrolling across, then that would be a mistake. The floodlight is only turning, and then that's a bad analogy, because it gives people the impression that there's a floodlight that's illuminating the sky, like some of the shills in the flat Earth who haven't spent long enough thinking and looking at the situation, and they can only think in terms of what's been traditional to their thinking, what's been taught to them. Yeah, see how that fire is hot and local, and how if you go over here, the fire's there, and if you go over there, the fire's here, from your point of view. Well, the sun's like that. It isn't. It's not like that. I see somebody else with that wrench. The sun goes across the sky without moving. What an idiot. Yes, you can have a wrench. That was Keith Mays. The sun, hey, what's the sun? Don't know. Goes across the sky. Does it? Without moving. Hey, Keith Mays. Explain what the sun is in the chat, please. Take your time. Oh, I know. I could show video of a rainbow moving and not moving. A rainbow scrolling across the sky and not moving. Should I show you that, Keith May? But first I'll wait for his answer. What is the sun, Keith? Take your time. I'm not seeing an answer. Okay, maybe you're looking up Wikipedia. What is the sun? Come on, don't be shy. Don't be like those hecklers who once the comedian stops and says, "You what?" They go silent. No answer. Oh, I see somebody else. Focal point. Ooh, pretty good. You can have a wrench. Keith. Right. Wait. If you don't already know what the sun is, then you never will. Keith, you're addressing that comment to the Book of the Sun. Maybe I know a thing or two about the sun that you haven't even contemplated, that you can't. Okay? But I tell you what, because I do like doing this, what am I showing? That. Okay. I will show the rainbow again. It is so good. Okay, so, give me a second. Oh, Nathan Oakley. Let's see. 360 rainbow. I don't know if any of you guys check with like people like Nathan Oakley or Ranty Flat Earth, but it looks like people are really like couldn't care less about what they're doing. If you're going by the number of views, you know, I check from time to time. It's a chuckle. Right. Now, look. Can you see? 360 degree, full circle rainbow, Listen House, Phantom 3 Advanced. This is for you, Keith. Watch the screen. Don't be distracted by the chat. Watch the screen. You're going to see the rainbow move while not moving. Let's see the rainbow there? See, look over to the left. See the rainbow? Okay. It's behind the hills, isn't it? Or at least at the hills. Okay. But as you keep watching, like, oh, God, it's in front of the hills. But from the ground, it's not in front of the hills, is it? You just saw it. Let's keep watching. Oh, I love doing this for people who think they know things. Keith, mate, pay attention to the video. Okay, just pay attention. There's a 360 rainbow, but it's not a 360 rainbow from the ground. But how can it be a 360 rainbow from high up and not a 360 rainbow from the ground? How can it move from being at that hill to not being at that hill? Huh? Not only can I explain what the rainbow is, how it behaves, how it does, but I can explain how it's generated. I can also explain how the constellations are generated and how they move, and the planets. The northern and southern hemispherical constellations what they are, how each star, how each nebula is generated, the source of those lights and smudges, and how they move. I can explain what causes their motion. And none of it has anything to do with gravity, strangely. I can also explain, wait for it, the marks on the moon and the moon's illumination and how it is not solar illumination. That's why I'm writing another book. Hey, where's that guy? Keith, you've gone quiet. Keith, now focus. Just focus for a second. Explain how the sun is creating, because you think the sun is creating the rainbow, not the frequency in the air. Not that, no, it's a sun. Okay, so how is the sun generating a circular rainbow whilst generating a semicircular rainbow at the same time? Explain it, please. Keith, he writes, you can't understand how an object looks different from different angles. Dipstick. Look, Keith Mays, I realise that you're new to this. You probably don't know this. I'm a realist artist. Yes, I do understand how objects look different from different angles. Okay? I really, really do. That's a very silly thing for you to assume. The question is to you, how is there a circular rainbow in the sky whilst a semicircular rainbow from the ground? Explain, draw it out for yourself if you need to, but please try to explain it in a coherent way. Because I've made special hangouts about the rainbows and explained how it's happening. That's right. How much of the rainbow is seen depends on how high up you are. Yes. No shit, Sherlock. Okay. Why, from the ground, are you seeing half a rainbow? Okay? You, Keith, you're seeing half a rainbow. You extend a drone, and the drone is seeing a full circle rainbow, a 360 rainbow. What shape is the rainbow? You know, because this was about the sun. So, now, what shape is the rainbow? Is it a semicircle? Or is it a full circle? Is the rainbow the drone is seeing the same rainbow that you're seeing? Is it? Do the elevation angles between you and the top of the rainbow, do they match the elevation angles from the drone at its optimum altitude to the top of the rainbow? Huh? Is it the same angles? Are they parallel angles? In which case are there two rainbows? I love it. Yes, George Sanford, totally agree, electric universe indeed. Yes, it is an electric universe. It's not the Thunderbolts project. I don't know. I can't wait for those guys, for one of those guys to go, oh, geez, and boom, everything will come together for them. Can't wait. So let me just make it one question. Is it one rainbow or two that's being seen? One from the ground and one from high elevation. Keith. One or two? Everyone sees a different rainbow. Don't you know anything, you numpty? Okay. You're getting there. Everyone sees a different rainbow. Yes, that's right. I've explained that. Don't you know anything? No, I know that. I've explained that. Does everyone see a different sun? Keith Mays. Oh, I think we might be getting something with some Socratic questioning. Chrissy Lynn, agreed. My dream is for you all to get out and work it out together. I think you're both really onto something. You know, time hasn't finished yet, so who knows what will happen in the future. I'm going to play that video again. Just for you, Keith. Keep watching. And keep asking questions. Okay? I'm going to play it again. Here you go. Oh, sorry, I thought I was showing it for a bigger screen. Here you go. There. Okay. So, good answer, Keith. Very good. Now, does everybody see a different sun? 2. Okay? So let me read your question. Everyone sees a different rainbow. That's right, Keith. Does everyone see a different sun? Huh? You see, the wavelength, the voltage in the air where the rainbow's being seen from the ground is pretty stable. You know, when you move in a vehicle and the rainbow scrolls with you, it scrolls with you whilst you're still at that same level of voltage, that same field. And as soon as you start getting away from that field, well, it starts to no longer be there. But it has moved along with you. So this rainbow moving is similar to the sun moving. It hasn't really moved. For something to move, it has to have one location in space and travel through space to a different location in space. But a rainbow doesn't have a location in space, and neither does the sun. Do you understand? In the morning, you're at one level of frequency, and the sun is very low. As the day wears on, that frequency increases till it reaches its maximum at solar noon, and then decreases till it reaches its minimum. Your eyes are receptacles for electrical frequencies, and then translate this change in frequency into light with a focal point. And that focal point is the thing we call the sun, but it doesn't have a location, so it doesn't move. You understand now, Keith? Actually, I'm glad you came in because you gave me a good excuse to explain that. But remember, Keith, I did ask you what's the sun, and you did do that little girly, well, you know, if you don't know what's wrong, I'm not going to tell you. Do feel free to now, do feel free to tell us what you think the sun is. Oh, wait, we see only one sun because it is a solid object. Oh, really? What makes you think the sun is a solid object? Keith Mays. You see, you have to just applaud the Dunning-Kruger. It's so I don't know. You have to applaud it. It makes it very easy to see the level of stupidity in people. Okay, so Keith Mays, let me explain this to you in a way that you'll understand. According to the heliocentric model, the spherical Earth is, well, solid and liquid and gas. Okay? The sun is not a solid object, Keith. According to the heliocentric model, there is no place in the sun where it is solid. So when you say we can only see one sun because it is a solid object, you're wrong according to your own model, you see. Your own model says the sun is not solid. The sun is a plasmoid, a plasma. You could have said it is a localized plasma field, but that's not a solid. You can't say a plasma is a solid. If so, you need to kind of go back to like chemistry. Oh, I'm passing you 1000 Zasto. You can have a wrench too. Good to see you. We see the sun as round, and is it really round when viewed from some particular angle? It's a good question. Keith, according to you, the eye can see electrical frequencies. Funny how people get radiation burns yet can't see. Keith, do you think all electrical frequencies are radiation burn frequencies? Is that what you think electrical frequencies are? This is fascinating. Keith, do you think that the only electrical frequencies that exist are radiation burn level electrical frequencies? Answer that question, please. Aye. Where's Wally? Sometimes this is why Hangouts go on so long. See? Because it's fascinating, this world. You get dim-dims who really haven't got a clue what they're talking about, who do this great dancing, you know, it's like, oh, not answering that question, oh, not answering that question, oh, not answer. You haven't answered any question, Keith. But I will hold you to this one. Okay, look. All electrical frequencies radiation burn level frequencies? I think you'll have to answer that no, there are electrical frequencies that are not radiation burn frequencies. Alpha Noakes, you're going to have a wrench too. Okay guys, 109 watching, 43 thumbs up. This doesn't tell me how many of the people watching are Globelings. Sparky Lee, where? Best place to get the Book of the Sun. So, do you know, dude, I need to print some more copies, but I haven't. There are errors in it, like some glaring errors, typos and weird editing errors that were not my fault, but the typos were, but the others were. I need to correct those and print another set. When I have done, I'll let everybody know. And I don't know, it might be your local big bookshop. Here in Britain, it would be Waterstones. Keith Mays writes, oh, I see. The sun has special electrical frequencies that we can see. Please explain how. No, Keith Mays. The question was, are all electrical frequencies chemical radiation burn frequencies? That was the question. Answer that question. Because, no, I was going to say something, but I won't. Sorry, Alan Walken says at Sparky Lee, they're sold out. Yeah, I should have said that. Sorry, dude, they're sold out. I will be printing some more once I've corrected their typos and whatnot. In fact, I'm going to make it an abridged version. A second edition is going to be the same as the first, only I'm going to include things that I took out of the first. And maybe include some diagrams. Sparkly, you would think that somebody would be glad to sell you theirs. I thought, you know, do 200 copies and then that's it. And then if people want to read it, I say, has anybody got a book or something? Yeah, I've got it. Yeah, there you go. How much? This much. Okay, great, done. but somehow people aren't selling them on. And 1,000 copies have sold in Spanish, by the way, in the Spanish-speaking world. Keith Mays writes, very funny, best place to get a Book of the Sun would be the local asylum. Do they have bookshops at the local asylums, Keith Mays? But now, don't forget, because that's a very hilarious joke, don't forget, the question was, all frequencies, radiation burn frequencies, are they or are they not? Get Poncho on. I haven't spoken to Poncho for a long time through Seeker Mafia 3 asterisk 6. I got a copy of the Book of the Sun from Richard. Great job on investigation. Thank you. Zarocael. Muchas gracias. Sí, está muy bien la traducción. The translation was very good. B. Murray Level Earth UK. I shared this hangout to Facebook and someone instantly posted a Dome FV fake crap. That's right. The reason for all of the shills is to corral the people who are looking into this, or who might first hear about this. They look, they see the Gleasons, they hear about the sun making circles, they hear about the dome, they hear about the 4 pillars or the 4 corners and the Bible, and they go, a bunch of crap. That's why those shills are there, to corral, to say, no, look at it this way. That way, any intelligent person can debunk it. It's easy to debunk the dome, flat earth. It's easy. I mean, all you need is the question, how do you know it's a dome? Just that. The same way that flat earther can say, how do you know gravity's holding the moon? They can just say the same. And if you can't answer that question, because the Bible says, unfortunately the Bible also says, and they can destroy it. Keith, don't forget, the question is, at all electrical frequencies, radiation burn level frequencies. I'm reading an astronomy book at the moment and learned the tail of a comet always points away from the sun regardless of its direction of motion. Thoughts? The illustrations are hilarious. Oh, I bet they are. And here comes a comet and the sun pushes away all of the extra things. Rock Lover. Ranty knows all about the sun burning. Well, actually, he doesn't. Oh, that guy is such a retarded. I smelled something rotten when I met him. Like, really. Like, there's something wrong with this dude. There's something not quite flat earth sincere. And I've met a lot of flat earthers. And with most flat earthers that you meet, well, with the flat earthers that you meet that are sincere flat earthers, you don't smell any weirdness. There's no weird vibe. But the ones that are weird, that aren't really flat earthers, that are there, you know, to obfuscate or to, I don't know, just bring shit into the whole thing, you can feel it. Even before they cause any shit. Ugh. I think Keith has gone to sleep. Thinking, oh God, I can't believe a flat earther ridicules me. Not fair. Right, let me see where the other video was. Of the 893 knots, where? Not here. Is it here? No, it's not here. Right, let me put that one away. Okay. There you go. Globlings, feel free to explain what's on the screen. 893 knots. Huh? What's showing? Ah, right, okay. 893 knots. The speed. What's this here? Oh, 893 knots? It's 1,027 miles per hour. Well, no. 1,027.646 miles per hour. That's right. I'm just going to scroll it up so it's nicely there. And people can say, what's that about? Let's see. I'm looking in the chat. Keith's Electron stream has been interrupted. Santa Speed. B-level, very good, man. Antonio, silver CD reflects the sun's rays and makes a rainbow on the wall. Then you can see the inside of the rainbow. You need to change the angles. Yes, 1000 Sasto. The CD, you can see the colours of the rainbow on the CD too. So the CD will make a rainbow, but if you look at the CD itself from the right angle, you'll see the rainbow on the CD, the rainbow colours on the CD. You'll also see the rainbow colours on oil in water. You'll also see the rainbow colours on cellophane. You'll also see the rainbow colours on spider webs. Spider webs have a negative charge to them. It's not the threads that are reflecting the light from the sun. It's the charge over the spider web. The charge is modulating the rest of the charge in the air that we call sunlight into the rainbow colours. It's fascinating. Gosh, I was joking about Keith having gone away in a strop, but I think it really has. Okay, hey Rock Lover, question for you. 893 knots. And let's see, maybe go back here. Yes. Also this. And anybody can go. I went earlier today. In fact, is it this? No. This is from when I was setting up the Hangout. You can go there. You can go now and see what the marine traffic is doing. There are several. Obviously, they all share the same data. Like, one is in one dimension and one in a different. This that's showing 893 knot, that's a search and rescue vehicle. It was in Antarctica. Sometime later, it was there. Like, that's interesting, because I was looking for it again in Antarctica, checking the details, the search and rescue detail. Like, it's not there. That's interesting. Hit it. Oh, 893 knots. Anyway, so where was I? This guy, Alpha Mind, Spanish flat earther, Spanish channel flat earther. First guy to show it. Let me go back. And I checked after watching this video, and lo and behold, when I checked, there were 3 that were deep into Antarctica, like when he's checking. So, fishing boat, can you see? And he's laughing, saying, oh, haha, by satellite. See that orange dot next to his cursor? That's a fishing boat. But wait a second, isn't that land? And where is this? It's between South America and Africa. Well, how can it be so far south? Like, wait a second, you remember my map? On my map, it can be that far south. That's got to be a bit troublesome for the Globelings. Then I could plot this ship on my map, and it would be in the ocean, not in Antarctica. You know, based on miles. That's interesting. So this is the guy who first highlighted this. And I then checked, and then I thought, I'd check it again today. I was talking with Orphan Red about ocean speeds and routes and these things. And I thought, yeah, I'll do a hangout about it. So there you go. What's a jet doing on marine radar? Who says it's a jet? Colm Gibney. Who says it's a jet? We don't know what it is. The marine radar will show you SAR also. That's search and rescue vehicles. And that particular one was in Antarctica. In fact, I'll tell you what, let me see if I can go now. I'll see if I can find another one. Just bear with me. Now, did they show that by mistake? People will say, yes, they showed it by mistake. Oh, okay. Right. So they showed it by mistake. Is the speed a mistake? Yeah, it must be. Because if it isn't, then our globe is wrong. That's like anything that we show, even from official sources, like a rocket taking off and having about as much illumination as a town or a city. Yeah? Even that. Whatever's being shown must be right, unless whatever's being shown by the official sources disproves the idea, in which case the official sources are mistaken. So let me go to marine tracker. And we'll have a look. Let's see if there are any fishing ships. There was a fishing ship right at the coast of Antarctica, which is like, oh, that's interesting. Isn't that beyond the boundaries of the Antarctic, what's it called? Marine traffic, there you go. The Antarctic Treaty, is like, well, the Antarctic Treaty says without permission. If it's there, well, it must be with permission. But we've also seen ships in the, well, deep into the mountains of Antarctica. We've also seen, I don't know if we'll see it now on this one, a buoy. Oh, here you are. What's this? This is a buoy. Look, I'm going to hit it. Okay. This E19 EPUJ from Kiriripan. I forget. 1 second. Yeah, here. It's a tiny little island off New Guinea. Where is it? Kiribati, that's how you say it. Right. So this that I just hit on, it's a Racon. What's Racon? It's a radar and let's see. It's at minus 83, so that's 83 south. So this is a beacon or a buoy. Why would there be a buoy or a buoy, depending how you want to say it? Why would there be a buoy in Antarctica? That's not ocean. Don't buoys belong to the ocean? See, I looked at this one before. The Racon is radar and I forget what the other is. Zoom out. Let me close this. Let's see if we can't see any more little. Come on, what are you doing? Oh, it's not playing with me. Oh, maybe I'm using too many resources. Just give me a second. So that little orange mark that you saw. Kiribati. Huh. Interesting. Come on, Dagnabbit, what's wrong with this page? I'm going to refresh. So they have buoys or buoys in Antarctica. Interesting, that's not water. See, just there. But people can say, oh, no, 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 it's some kind of beacon or something. It's like, okay, this is marine traffic. We can assume that there are all kinds of beacons used by the military that are in Antarctica. They're not all showing up. Maybe this is not one of those beacons. Maybe this is a beacon. Maybe this is a buoy used by the Kiribati fleet, and they've placed it there, and marine traffic places it there, not knowing that where its coordinates say it is turns out to be Antarctica because the map has Antarctica. So that's where it is. And earlier there was a ship. Where is it? It's not there now. There was a ship very close. So I'm going to look at a different tracker. Just a second. Let me look into the chat, make sure everybody's okay. Kiribati near Bora Bora. Yes, it's right next to, well, it's one of those islands that I always think that looks like wheat. You know, if you look at a sheaf of wheat, or a sheaf, wheat sheaf, they look a bit like that. Jeff Dumas, anyone ever seen any flight info from one Antarctic airfield to another? No, but I have I've heard personal testimony from somebody who was in Antarctica that contradicts the globe. And this person then became a, well, flat earther after he came back and looked into it. So, flight radar. That's Robert Shortman. He said they were flying, they had to go to a place and flying for hours and hours and hours. Let's see. Let's see this one. Maybe this one has a ship in Antarctica now. And guys, you can come back to this day after day and check. The very first time I checked, I was lucky. There's like 3 ships. I thought it was more, but it turns out that some of those aren't really ships. So this is flight radar, and it also has a marine thing. Hey, where is it? Nope. Okay. Well, you can bugger off then. I put flight radar, marine radar. There. Marine traffic. And of course, the globelings, when seeing something like this, the brains can't deal with the information that it's literally cognitive dissonance. Look, you can't have a boat sailing through a mountain. Okay, you can't have a boat sailing through somewhere where there isn't like waters for the boat to sail through. So if you see a boat in the middle of a continent where there's no rivers, and it's a fishing boat, not an expedition boat, it doesn't fit, it doesn't work with the globe. The answer is, there's got to be something wrong with this. So that's their conclusion. There must be something wrong with this. It's not that the theory of the globe is wrong. That's definitely correct. So it must be something else. So even if you show, look, they're tracking things there, and they have things like search and rescue vehicles traveling at 893 knots. The brains say, no, it can't be because we're on a globe. Let's see. Oh, that's interesting. That's that thing, that same thing. That's very deep in Antarctica, and this is to show dangerous regions. That's why this is there. It's as a warning for sailing ships. Look at where it is. Here, right at the bottom. I'm gonna there. As a warning for sailing ships. Let's compare that with Africa to see how many thousands of miles. Well, if that would be 3,000 miles. Yeah, about 3,000 miles south of the Antarctic coast. 3,000 miles into Antarctica. Yeah, there's a warning there for ships, for sailing ships. You know, fishing ships and whatnot. Yeah, why not? Just leave it there. And for those of you who's like, oh no, he's not showing any ships there. It's like, okay, so just bear with me. See, this video is using the same. See, that's a sailing ship. Let me play some of it. There's another one. It says fishing. Let's see if there are any more. It's showing how far it is south from there. Interesting, these fishing boats there. The continent of Antarctica. But take my map and go south of the Tropic of Capricorn, if you want to use some way of measuring distance, and put it there. You go, huh, that's fine, that fits in Antonio's map. So, let me go back to this. And the Globians can rest their eyes on that. Earth is flat. Rick, 1776, 1970. Yes, it is flat. It's we can't say for sure that it's an endless plane, but we can assume, or maybe not assume, logically conclude that it's an endless plane. And people might say, that's not, how are you logically concluding that? Well, it's like this. This place is flat and its boundaries are ice from this pond. We don't know where the next other ponds are. Some of us have guesses, but they're just guesses. But those ponds, between those ponds and this one, it's ice too. We're going to assume that those ponds are surrounded by ice. Between them and the nearest ponds to those, and so on. For the whole thing to come to an end, there must be a reason, a thing that causes it to end. If you can't think of a thing that makes it end, then you can conclude, well, until we get more information on logical impossibilities change, you can assume that it's endless, just like you can assume that a circle is endless, or a straight line is endless. Anyway, they're my thoughts anyway. Nearly bacon butty time. I'm going to have a bacon butty too, dude. Rock Lover, what do you think of these 893 knots speed? So let me go back to, let's see if I can find another one. I don't know if no. Marine radar for sale in UK. That's interesting. Have you got any marine radars? Yeah. I take it it's for boats, for when they're sailing around Antarctica, so they don't go crashing into icebergs. Oh, I'll show you something else too. Yeah, this will be good. Just more and more things that are just a problem for the globe. One second. apologies, this site is a little bit unwieldy. Okay, so move, and move some more, and no, same story. No fishing boats in Antarctica. No search and rescue vehicle. Hey, it just hit me. When I saw the search and rescue vehicle, it was kind of maybe, I don't know, centimetre down from the first A in Antarctica. And it said 0. And then it's like, boom. Like, where's it going? Because when it stopped, it must have been picking someone up. That's what I'm thinking. It's like search and rescue. It's not tag, you know, fly there quick and then fly back for no good reason. Anyway, I'm going to close this. I'm going to open something else. Just a second. So there was this cool young woman, young girl even, who sailed around the world. Just give me a second. I'm going to find it. I'm going to share it. I shared it in a Skype chat. There it is. Right. There. And I'm going to play portions of it. This is for educational purposes. People at TED Talks. Just bear with me. At the start, there's a promo video. The promo video gives all kinds of details and figures. Unfortunately for them, the person about whom that video is made, because that video was obviously not made by the young woman, it was made by somebody else. Just give me a second. Oh, here you are. Okay, pause. Right. This young woman, she's called Laura Decker. Okay. She sailed all around the world. Gonna take the audio off. The mute off. I'm going to first go to the intro where they show this video clip. Oh, wait. And in the video clip it says sailed 27,000 miles. Wait, it might be here. Let's see. Taking the song off just in case. Here's the route. Wait a sec. Oh. But here's the route. And you can plot this on my map. Or you can plot it on the globe. Now, if you plot it on the globe, I'm going to move ahead. I'm going to paste a link to this in the chat, okay, folks? Just bear with me. You plot it on the globe. There you go. Look. Look on the screen. "27,000 miles. You can plot those on Google Earth. 27,000 miles to do the route that she just did. Approximately on Google Earth, okay? Unfortunately for the people who made this video, in the talk, she explains that she just did some 40 odd thousand miles. I'm not sure if it's here. Oh, sorry.
This is a boat that was a boat from my dad's boss, and I asked him if I could...
I'm not going to find it, but I'm going to share it. If anybody doubts what I'm saying, they can listen to it attentively and see that she says, when crossing the English Ocean, dangerous... Actually, I might be near it now. I might play it. But she said, but compared to the 40,000 I've done just now, it was nothing. Wait, let's see. Just give me a second. 40,000, not 27. You're not talking about the 40,000 altogether that she's done. She says, just done. Like, that I've just done. You know, right, listen.
My mom, though, was quite freaked out, but the police made my dad come over, and he said, well, you sailed here, you can sail back. So I did.
Right.
And
Wait a second.
every day after school, I did newspapers. At some stages, I even wrote.
She's explaining how she financed everything herself and how she then one day decided to go from Holland to England, you know, without telling anyone.
Tell anybody about this, because I had a sense that I would not agree with it. So I arrived in England, and after a few days, the police was kind of wondering what this little girl on her boat was doing, and they started questioning me and calling my dad, who surprisingly was not too worried because I was gone and the boat was gone, and he knew I could sail, so he was like, okay. My mom, though, was quite freaked out, but the police made my dad come over, and he said, well, you sailed here, you can sail back. So I did. And he kind of hoped that my dream that I had since the age of 8 to sail around the world would fade away by crossing the English Channel. The English Channel is a very difficult stretch of water, and a lot of good sailors.
Listen to what she's about to say. Pay attention.
Don't want to sail there. And seriously, after 40,000 miles that I did now, I would.
After 40,000 miles that I did now. Did you hear? She's talking about when she sailed around the world. And she says, some people think it's dangerous, but you know, honestly, after the 40,000 miles that I've just done, she's foreign. English is a foreign language. She's not foreign to herself or the Dutch. After 40,000 miles that I did now. Listen.
And a lot of good sailors don't want to sail there. And seriously, after 40,000 miles that I did now, I would not go sailing there again for fun.
There. Thank you. Shall we talk ocean distances, globelings? Should we? Oh, you see, I plotted that route on my map, and on my map it comes to about 45,000. But I could say, if I wanted to, and I'm being honest, it came to about 45,000. And she said 40,000. Maybe she meant nautical miles, because that's what the globelings would do if the tables were turned. Multi-tom-tom. 40,000 miles is very close to 24,905. So you just heard that from this girl. She doesn't give a toss who agrees or doesn't agree. She knows what she's done. She knows what speed she's done. She also says something that completely goes against. I'm not going to give it all away. Watch it, okay? She says something that goes completely against the whole faster sailing speeds and safe sailing speeds and all of this silliness that the globelings argue about when you present them with the Antarctica racers. She says what her speed was when going around Cape Hope. The Cape of Good Hope, South Africa. Wait a second, I'm having a warning thing on the computer. You might lose the transmission, I don't know, like the other day, you might not. I don't know if you can hear me. I'm having the little wheel thing. Computer having problems. Too many resources. I'm going to close the tabs. But I pasted the link in the chat. Listen to the whole talk. Take notes. Take notes. Then go to the Wikipedia page and see if you can match the notes of what it says on Wikipedia with what she said. Because she's the one that did it, and Wikipedia is somebody reporting on what she says she's done. Okay? You can get it from the horse's mouth, or you can go through Wikipedia. Come on, for goodness sake. Come on. Okay, well, the stream might have ended, I don't know. Let's see. Yeah, no, the stream's still on. Oh, okay. My displays are playing up, so I can't change displays. But it looks like the stream is still on. So, Rock Lover says, you're not getting kilometers mixed up with miles again, are you, Antonio? Like, nope, no. I'm just saying what she said. And you have to agree. 5 miles away from what was said is closer than 5,000 miles. So my map says 5,000 miles more than what she said. The globe says 13,000 miles less than what she said. Aha, okay, so the system is working there. So, which one is closest? And even if you convert 27,000 miles to nautical miles to try to get reach nearer to 40, well, then you'd have to assume that she's talking about nautical miles, and you still wouldn't, see? But anyway. Right, I'm going to close Windows because resources and whatnot. Close. And close. Aye. So remember, I started this hangout laughing at poor Where's Wally, who forgets to address the critical things, the critical problems. It's a bit like, I don't know, somebody whose house is on fire. And you show video that their house is on fire. This isn't any kind of threat, so don't flag this channel for making threats. If you were to make somebody a video showing that their house was on fire, and they looked at the footage and they said, yes, but my sprinklers are still working in the garden. And they make a video saying, look at this poor sod talking about sprinklers not working in the garden. Look at them working in the garden. And there in the background is a house aflame. That's what it's like. That's poor Dim Where's Wally talking about rockets going into space and their trail being illuminated when they get to an elevation that the frequency illuminates the trail. Instead of explaining how the rocket from the CGI globe can be so bright from so many thousands of miles away. There's no explanation. And you can work out, if you look at the footage, you can come to a pretty good approximation of how far away the ISS is supposed to be from it while still seeing it. It's not possible. And saying that because the Santa Claus tracker is false, that doesn't mean that the ISS is false. That's a non sequitur. The ISS being, the Santa tracker being false does not mean that the ISS is not false. That's silly. The example was, official sources show this, which is patently false, the Santa tracker. Official sources also show, and I'm going to say something that the Globians hate when I say it, but I'm going to say it because on purpose, because I know they hate it. Official sources, so let me sort my windows out, say ISS. Official sources say Santa Tracker. Great, it's just a joke, we all know that. Now, standard academia is saying paedophilia, it's all perfectly fine and natural and normal and really nothing to be alarmed about. That's official academia is saying that. Official academia is saying the Earth is a globe and all the scientists agree that the Earth is a globe. Before too long, academia is going to say all psychologists agree that paedophilia is perfectly fine, nothing wrong with it, just society's old-fashioned beliefs, and we should all get over it and embrace the local paedophiles. That's right. Should I show you video about that? Should I show you video of what the official stand on paedophilia is? Now, some of you might be interested in these things like how many humans there are, how long we've been here, how many people have died, what the age expectancy rate is, how that's all working out. And you might look back and find that a lot of, we're told so many years ago, people's average lifespan was 50 odd, 40 odd. When you look at those details, you'll find that actually it turns out that lots of people that were dying were women. A lot more women were dying than men. There was a lot fewer women. But why were so many women dying? Is it because of the patriarchy? Well, not really. It was because of the church. You see, the church said it was okay to marry and have children with 10-year-old girls. The Catholic Church, the Christians, said that. And these children were dying of childbirth. But they could not go down in the books as children who died while giving birth. They went down in the books as women who died in childbirth. So all of those extra deaths of women giving birth were children giving birth, which is why they died. But the standard story doesn't tell you that. That's right. The standard story does not tell you that. But you can look yourselves. You can go to churchyards, you can go to graveyards and look at the ages and the deaths. They're crazy. They are crazy. Alan Haymaker or Haymaker. You're going to have a wrench too. So, standard academia, standard PR says we can track Santa with NORAD. Standard PR says, we live on a globe, look at this. Rocket leaving the Earth. Same people say, paedophilia, nothing wrong with it. That's right, same people. And when somebody like me points this out, there's this revulsion because it's literally repulsive. So, the Globelink says, no, can't be true. What's happening with my stream? Oh, I see. And that's what we live on. We live on a world, in a plane, where we have authorities, people who say that they have authority, although they have authority by by virtue of violence, who say, you can't use violence against the authorities. Oh, that's interesting. Can you use violence against us? Yes. Can we not use violence against you? No. Not even in self-defense? No. Okay. Okay, so what else do you have to say? Well, we live on a globe, right? And there's nothing wrong with paedophilia. And look at these videos. We can track Santa. We'll look at the ISS. We can track rockets taking off. That's right. Sunlight, it comes to Earth in parallel rays. That's why an old Greek could calculate the rotundity of the Earth with shadows. But wait a second, sun rays don't fall on Earth in parallel rays. That doesn't happen at all. If that doesn't happen, he can't have calculated this. So, if he calculated something, it was not how the Earth is shaped, it's how the rays fall. That's interesting. Saludos desde Paddington, why? Ricky Capito, saludos. And the Globelings are in this unenviable position of defending the globe, where other Globelings are saying there's nothing wrong with paedophilia. And when you point out, look guys, there really is something wrong with paedophilia, and there really is something wrong with the globe. What some Globelings do is they will take sound bites of what I've just said and play that portion, not play any of the context, doesn't, you know, like if you say, you know what I mean. When somebody just takes a portion of a sentence and says, oh, that's the entirety of what he said, there you go. That's called quote mining. That is quote mining. That's cherry picking too. But this is what the P-masters of the world do. Oh right, Rock Lover, I asked you before, I didn't see if you answered. What do you think of the speed that you're seeing on the screen? Yes. Let me see. Rudy Maliaskit. Sunlight comes down in spirals, hence night and day. That's right. That's what I explained in the Book of the Sun. Rocklover, I asked you a question, but probably you've not heard it by now. What have Powell Bay, Lord Stevens, and Janice Sargent all got in common? All Jesuit school taught. Wasn't it the Jesuits who gave us heliocentric things that make you go, Yes. Jesuit school taught, I don't think that's a little bit, and you'll understand this, like saying, because Jesuit people have done all kinds of dirty deals, bad stuff. All people associated with Jesuits, including children who went to Jesuit schools, they too. It doesn't, that's a non sequitur. Because it would be equivalent to saying, because some paedophile priests, priests and paedophiles, all priests are paedophiles, and because they're Catholic, all Catholics are paedophiles. That's not true. Rick, 1776, 1970. Talmud says it's okay. Okay, if the Talmud says it's okay, it must be true, right? You probably read it in the Talmud, or heard somebody saying that it's in the Talmud, or you don't really know. Is it said? Is it not said? Do Jews do? Do Jews don't? In the Bible, it says to stone people for adultery and whatnot, but we don't. Could there be something in the Talmud that it's in the Talmud, but the Jews, they say, well, we don't? Could that be the situation? Because it is true. You remember the story of Jesus saying, he who is without sin, cast the first stone. That's in the Bible. Because in the Bible it says, when people are doing this, throw stones at them. When people are doing this, cut their hair. When people are doing this, whatever. 1 second. So, yes. Don't paint everybody with the same, same brush. Don't tar everyone with the same brush. Rock Lover, I asked about the speeds, military jets, scouting for helicopters. Oh, could be. But yeah, interesting. Very well. Could be. Or maybe not. So, yeah, just saying, maybe not. It was a search and rescue vehicle. A jet that flies at that speed, that's usually would be a seek and destroy, not search and rescue. Because it would have to be a thing that flies very, very fast and can then land and take people on board and then leave. That would be the rescue part. Anyway, right, guys, I'm going to wrap up. And I'm going to go and make a bacon sandwich. I hope you enjoyed this. Pass it on. Take any of the info you like and do with it what you like. Okay, thank you very much, everyone. You stoned your wife this morning. Splendid. Okay, thank you, everyone. I will see you again some other time. Okay, ciao.